We are live. We are live. We are live for another exciting episode of Alive on Air with Lisa Santiago McNeill. I'm excited. Today is just our second episode of the new year. What have you done so far this year? Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I am preparing for this year to be the biggest, boldest, and bestest yet. When I'm talking about better in a big way. I am talking about global domination. I am talking about taking your position in the sun and making the world come along for the ride. Global domination. That's going to take a little bit of help, though, is what I realized. It's going to take a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of discipline, a little bit of commitment, a little bit of support, a little bit of help. And to that end, I have decided that today's episode, some of that heavy lifting will be with my very special guest and a beautiful friend, Miss Soy Kamara.
Hey,
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 Soy.
hey.
Hey, darling.
Hey.
How you
Hi.
doing?
I am doing very well, and thank you so much for having me as a guest. And actually, that's a little step up from the guest. I get to co-host with you, so I'm
That's
looking forward to this conversation. Yeah, I'm looking forward
right.
to it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. I am excited to have you on this side of the microphone because I had the opportunity to be your guest on Coffee Time with Soy a couple of years ago, and we have reconnected, honey. They better watch out.
Hey, double trouble, right?
That's right. They better watch out. So, why don't you take a minute to tell our audience who you are, what you do, and why they need to be checking you out?
All right, gladly, gladly. Thanks again, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am from Coffee Talk with Soy. I also have an online radio station that I do podcast on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And outside of that, my background has been in public speaking for some time. And when I'm not doing that, I am usually finding some kind of mission or a way to provide and give back. We're going to talk a little bit about personally why I'm intertwined with such things. But Lisa, it has been just in my blood, in my DNA. It's just in me to empower people.
Absolutely.
Empower people. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we clicked and had in common. Absolutely. For me, women's empowerment is about helping another woman to come out of their situation and circumstance to be able to really make decisions for themselves.
Mhm.
I know that a lot of time, and I do that through entrepreneurship, helping them to be able to earn their own money, find their own way, right? But it really is a shame that those things tie together, but they do. When you don't have your own control over your money, when you don't have control over where the money is coming from, sometimes you got to make decisions that are not necessarily in your best interest, but they're in the best interest of everybody else that's got going on with you. And so this year, we are really focusing on how you can create some goals and aspirations for yourself, and then what you need to do to support them. You know, everybody talks about their New Year's resolutions.
Mhm.
I don't want this to be a resolution that's over before Martin Luther King's holiday, okay? I would like our audience to actually get through to some success. Success is critical. What are some of the tools that you use to support when you set a new goal or make a new decision? How do you shore them up so that you actually follow through?
So for me, I am goal oriented. My mechanism and what makes and how I work is to set a goal, meet the goal, set a goal, meet the goal, set a goal, meet the goal,
Yes.
and that's fine if that is my objective to ensure that I meet the goals.
Hmm.
And I think there's a flip side to everything. You kind of have to identify what it is you want and how you're going to get there, and the reason why you want it. I often refer to our resolutions as lifestyle changes. What can I do different this year,
Yeah.
and why do I want to do that? The why is always important because that's going to keep you grounded. And it can't just
Absolutely.
be just because Lisa's doing it, or just because Rochelle is doing it. It
Right.
has to be because you want to do it. Sometimes we find that there are things lying in us that has been dormant for some
Hmm.
time, and then you hear a word, or you see a movie, or you see a sign, or you read something, and then it pops and
Yes.
inspires you. That's it. And then you go chasing that. And I find that if you stay true to what that is for you, you're gonna find yourself along the way. You'll stay grounded in it, and you keep developing yourself in it. Keep developing yourself. Keep developing yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you
I
know.
definitely agree with that. The first book that I wrote, Discovering Your Why, A Journey to Wholeness, was based upon the foundation that without the why, if the why is not deep enough, it's going to be one of those things that you quit before Martin Luther King's holiday, right? You're not going to get there because
Mhm,
it's not
mhm.
meaningful enough. It was a
Um,
casual dalliance, you know?
I know one of the common things people say, and I'm just going to say this is kind of cliche, and so we say, "Well, I want to lose weight." I want to lose weight because I want to look like Janet Jackson. I want to look
That
like this
part.
person, as opposed to saying that I want more. I want to sleep better at night. you
Hmm.
know, or I want to not be so fatigued during the day, or
Yeah,
I have jitters, or my skin has been real dry, or my skin is too oily. And so those kind of things will require you to either drink water, get more rest, do some exercises. My sugar level is too high. So instead of, making those long-term goals like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, take it, one step at a time, take it one piece at a time. Otherwise, we get overwhelmed and then you quit before Martin Luther King's birthday.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I really use that because it's so true. We hear about it the last 10 days of the previous year and the first 10 days of the new year. Everybody's getting these resolutions and resolutions. And honey, by February,
Hmm.
it's crickets. It's crickets at the gym. It's crickets. It's just crickets. There's not anything there. I have actually decided to really buckle down and take control over my health and gotten accountability, but also short setting goals. Like so right now I is there's 3 days at a time of this, 4 days at a time, 7 days, because I know I have to give myself an attainable commitment so
Mm,
that I can have a celebration.
absolutely.
Right. So I
Absolutely.
need that. I need that. When I bought a recumbent bike for my living room because I ain't going to nobody Corona gym. And so when I first got it home and put it together, I said, you know what? 5 minutes. I'm not trying to say I'm gonna do an hour a day. I'm gonna do 5 minutes. Well, that 5 minutes turned into 30 minutes in 4 days. Excuse me. In 4 days, that 5 minutes went to 30 minutes because I gave myself gradual increments. I mean, in three days, it went to 30 minutes because I did gradual implements. And I had a wonderful cheerleader, an accountability friend who wanted to hear what you do today, what you get done today. And I knew that that was part of a necessity for my success. I like to be encouraged, or I need to be encouraged.
Mhm.
And so that was one of the things that helped me.
Good. Good.
Today is day one of detoxing. And Lord have mercy, I don't know. It's supposed to be 3 days, and I don't feel like I can make it to the end of today. But I don't want to quit before Martin Luther King's
Absolutely, absolutely. Lisa, one of my main goals for this year, my lifestyle change, as I said, would be that I want to create more balance in
birthday.
my life. Because for me, I work a lot. I work
Yes,
a lot, and I find that I can get lost in my work.
yes,
Luckily, I
exactly.
enjoy what I do. I can sit here and when I'm not interviewing people on my show and being a host, I'm interviewing other people because I deal with employment law. So I'm
Mhm.
investigating litigation, discrimination complaints. So I'm talking a lot during the day. And so it's easy for me to kind of get caught up with the work, and the nature of it is really interesting. And like I said, I enjoy making a change and helping people. So what happens is that's a good thing, right? But no, no, no. Listen, it's not so good because I lose sight of other things.
Yes, no
So for
balance.
one, you no balance. For one, especially with COVID, and us not having the opportunity to kind of get out and do things that we normally would do. So now I'm really confined. So this worsens my situation. Oh, now I don't have to get up. Oh, now I'm working even harder now. But what happens is my mobility is changing, so I'm not getting
Yes,
up. I've been having some issues with my back, and as you know, if we sit long enough, you will have pain. So I have to remind myself to kind of get up and kind of move
yeah,
around. And so that's just a small thing of just trying to demonstrate that planning it, creating a balance for me is planning time to do other things so that I can break away from my work cycle. So
absolutely,
yeah, so that's
absolutely. I think the planning part is critical. That's why one of the tools that I mentioned was for me, it's a journal. And I do use my online tools, but for me, it's a journal to just check in and see how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, make myself accountable to some things where I can look back and say, hey, you didn't move at all. You didn't, because much like you, much of what I do is sedentary. It's right here in front of the computer. And I love it. To be quite honest, I love what I do. So I can work and not move sometimes
hmm hmm
hours on end, not literally not get up for
yeah.
anything. My restroom is within arm's reach from my office and like not do anything. So those tools and using those calendars and those features and functions to get up and move have to be done. But one critical thing that you said was planning.
hmm
Sometimes we overlook some of the pieces to our plan.
Okay.
We
Tell me
overlook
how. Tell me how. How do we
so
do that?
okay. So like with this detox, I told you we're doing this detox.
hmm
So for 3 days, we're only going to be, we eat yogurt in the morning and handful of berries. We eat cabbage soup throughout the day, and we have a fish and dark green leafy vegetable for dinner. Somebody got to cook that stuff. Somebody got to go to the supermarket to make sure that it's in the house.
hmm
And so yesterday, I did remember that I had to have it in the house. So I was like, I don't know when I'm going to the store. It doesn't even make sense. I have no time to go. But we've got online services and stuff. So for the first time, I used whatever that thing is where they go shop for you and bring it back. And that was good. They did that, but didn't nobody come in the house to cook it.
Wow. You're halfway there. You're halfway
Right.
there, right?
You're halfway there. So that means that today, in order to be able to graze throughout the day with this cabbage soup or whatever, I had to actually also, after breakfast or after that yogurt, get up, chop cabbage, chop onions, put it in the pot, and stir it
Mhm.
up and make it happen. And that took time that I didn't have on my calendar today.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
It could have easily derailed me, and it almost did. It almost derailed me because cabbage is not, it's very time consuming.
hmm
It's very time consuming. It's like a mountain. You end up with a mountain of cabbage, and then when it's cooked, you got a handful of cabbage
Yeah.
because it cooks
Yeah.
down to nothing.
It's not
And
it's
so
not as bad it's not as bad as spinach. But what's your cabbage recipe though? I love cabbage, but I've never really had cabbage soup.
I decided not to do it as soup. I just did it as steamed cabbage, but I can do it as soup. I just add the chicken broth or vegetable broth to it to
Okay.
make it into the soup. But it's just chopped cabbage, chopped onions, chopped green peppers, chopped carrots, and your broth base if you want that. But I just did it without the broth, and of course all of the seasonings: the onion powder, garlic powder, and salt and pepper, and it's delicious, but it don't like to stay with you for very long.
It does its job. That's its
It
job.
does.
It does its it
It,
works.
it does. It works. It works.
It
It works.
works.
Let's take a pause real quick for our commercial, and I will be back in a moment. Back in a moment. If I can remember how to cue my commercial. Here we go.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion.
So down at the bottom, you'll see the link scrolling for the registration. It's also in the description box for the registration for the Global Domination Mindset showcase that is this Saturday. It is this Saturday. And I am really looking forward. Oh, it's covering my face. I got to get something else. I got to do it differently. I really want to make sure that everybody within the sound of my voice registers for this showcase. There are 7. I always do this for 7, and that's not 7. So there are 7. There are 7 amazing, amazing, powerful men that will be speaking on everything to shore up your mindset. We have Sir Charles Carey, we have Brian K. McNeill, we have Cortez Springer, we have Johnny Campbell, we have Bill Brown, we have Dr. Frank, we tried to get Dr. Frazier, couldn't get him. Dr. Frank Marshall, we have, oh my goodness, it is just, and Marlon Smith. And each one of them has a special and unique way of tapping into the firing elements in your brain and inspiring you to continue to persevere and to press on. And they are going to be the guest speakers for the day, Saturday from 4 to 6. Each one of them is going to inspire your mind. Each one of them is going to prepare you for global domination. Global Domination 2021 this Saturday at 4 p.m. You got to be here. And yes, it's live. Yes, it will be available on Facebook. But if you don't register, you will miss out on all of the great giveaways that these amazing speakers are offering. All of them are giving away something, whether it's a video, whether it's an ebook, whatever it is, it's going to feel and it will impact your 2021. It will be the difference between success and failure for 2021. So we want to make sure that you attend that on Saturday. Soy.
Ooh.
What is going on? What's one of your big goals for 2021?
Oh wow. So my big goal, Lisa, is to I'm revamping some things on the show in which on my podcast in which we are partnering with entrepreneurs. I explained that I do a lot of litigation, employment law. I do document prep and things like that, and then meeting people as I do, and having these conversations. First, my heart really goes out to any grinding entrepreneur. And when I say grind, it's that we have this skill or this task or this gift that God has given us. And some of us are fortunate enough to just come out the gate doing it. And your gift has made room for you, and you can do this as a form of employment, and it sustains you. It
Yes.
provides for your home, your family, puts food on the table, and that's wonderful. That's awesome. That's a blessing. But then there are others that haven't gotten there yet. And so they are trying to build up their business in which they're working full time, doing something else, most of the time non-related, and they're still trying to grind. And so I have created this network and this tool called the Grind, in which we will be providing resources for those entrepreneurs. So if you are looking to start your business and you need to be incorporated, or you need fundamentals in terms of finance, you need support in marketing and things of that nature, we're networking people together. So we have a newsletter that we have generated now for our listener base that have already begun doing some kind of business on the side. But I want you to get tax breaks. I want you to get everything that's out there for
Yes.
you. And there's a portion of my show that we offer that piece of information. So the grind has been something that I've been grinding on, and hopes to provide a support to our entrepreneurs.
Now, how do they connect with you to participate in the grind? Is there a
So
website they dropped into? Go ahead.
So you can always visit the website coffeetalkwithsoy.com. There's a contact us form there. You will put your information there that you want to sign up. Also on the page, there is on the blog page, you'll see the grind there, and there's an opportunity for you to submit to subscribe to the newsletter. So
Absolutely.
that's a big thing that I want to do for the show. But for me, I have some new material that I'm working on putting out this year, and one piece is called the Bag Lady, in which it is a seminar, soon to be webinar, helping women connect. Um, Women are falling for their bags. You know, we love our handbags, and we generally carry them everywhere we are. Everywhere we go, we have a nice handbag, and usually you can recognize us for that. And we travel, we have bags. But what I've noticed, Lisa, just through my own life, is that we as women we overpack. You know, we overpack. We have too much stuff that we're carrying, and so the bag lady is a very fun, interactive way to get us to just kind of lighten up our load so that we can progress in life. You know, having too many things in our bag like guilt and shame and embarrassment and secrets and things like that keep us from moving to the next level. It keep us from soaring high. So the bag lady is a fun interactive exercise that allow us to just kind of get rid of those things, ladies. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And only take those bags when necessary. So,
Lighten your load, baby. My sisters, my sisters. Well, you gotta keep us posted when that first webinar is ready. I would love to share it with Women Empowerment Network and definitely want to support and encourage people to take part in that because we are carrying around a lot of stuff. We're
yeah.
carrying around weight, we're carrying around limiting beliefs, we're carrying around all types of doubt and disbelief. And sometimes we carrying around some folk that don't need to be with us either.
Right, all that heavy luggage, all that heavy luggage. We got to get rid of that.
Get rid of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
We got to get rid of
we
it.
gotta go TSA style and open up them suitcases and pull that stuff out that you can't take. You
That
can't
is exactly right. You got it. You got it. You
What
got
about
it.
you, Lisa? What's new for you?
So, what's new or what's big? So, what's new
Hmm,
is
new.
deciding to have a co-host with me on the show.
Mhm.
When I decided to come out with Live with Lisa Santiago McNeill, I really was going to just do it solo. And I think that that was partially because I do a morning broadcast with my husband every day, Monday through Friday. And I just sometimes felt like there were topics that we didn't synergize on and that I still wanted to talk about. And so I think my knee jerk in was that just do it by yourself. Nobody can stop you, go by yourself, right? But but I realized that it wasn't so much that I wanted to do it by myself, that I wanted a synergy, a relatable synergy. He and I relate on a lot of things that have to do with professional, relationship wise, and all of that. But there are some things in the feminine power sphere that he doesn't, understand. Like he doesn't even understand. They're just not his thing. And
Mhm.
so I felt that by having a co host for 2 or 3 or 4 episodes where we could actually get comfortable with each other
Mhm.
and vibe to the point that we could share almost like girlfriends having a conversation
Yeah, yeah.
with our audience and giving our audiences a chance to be like a fly on the wall, if you will, while we get off and get out some stuff that we may not have another place to dialogue that way. And
Mhm.
so that's what's new, and that's where this came from. Um, and for me, what's big is really taking empowerment publishing and multimedia to the next level. It's already started with we are international, we're in multiple markets, and I'm excited about that. We've got some reach here and there, but it's loose. I want to bring it tight and I want to bring it deep and I want to bring it so that it's to the next level so that we can begin to put out publications and expand the awareness of all of these great entrepreneurs that we're connected with. I want to be the platform where an entrepreneur is vying to get on so that they can share what they do with the world so that we can heal more of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything that people are doing, at least in the entrepreneurial space that I'm connected in, is born out of a learned skill, gift, or talent that they developed oftentimes during a trying time.
Yeah.
And Brother Cortez said it this morning. He's speaking to who he was 5 years ago so that he can give them some tips on how to get over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I really like that concept.
Yeah.
I'm not all the way up there yet where I'm going, and I'm going to get there. But that sister who looks like me 5 years ago, who couldn't pay who couldn't sustain her lifestyle on her hustle, my grind, my business provides for my entire lifestyle. I don't work for
Mm-hmm.
anyone. I don't work anywhere else. There's somebody who's trying to get right here. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
know all about these seven figure sisters and all of that. I know them casually. I don't know how they got there. And sometimes, honestly, I don't know how much I can believe about what many of them say. But that's not none of my business. I'm just trying to help somebody else to get to their first 5K month because I figured that out and I want to see somebody else get there. I want to see somebody else become what they almost were afraid to dream they could be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's big for me. That's my why. That's what chains me to
Mm-hmm.
my desk,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
keeps me going.
That,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, that's powerful. That's powerful. I'm looking forward to that. I will definitely stay connected with you so I can um be on the bandwagon with that as well. So I definitely
Yeah.
want to find out more about that.
Well, I'm glad because I'm glad to have you on the ride. I love your energy. I definitely love our dialogue and interaction. I'm grateful for anybody who chose to tune in with us today. For all of our viewers that are participating either here on Facebook Live or if you're on our YouTube channel, please make sure that you click like on Facebook or you click subscribe on our YouTube channel just to make sure that you don't miss any future episodes. Do make sure that you click on the link for the grind. We want to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
you connect with Coffee Talk with Soy,
Mm-hmm.
coffeetalkwithsoy.com, and Global Domination Mindset Showcase 2021. It is going to be amazing. There's no doubt in my mind. I want to give a last word to you, Soy, before we check out. What you got?
Well, I just want to remind people that 2020 was a trying year. We all were faced with some things that we probably never thought we would have to deal with, and hopefully we won't have to deal with it again. But I'm sure in all that you have accomplished and what you have endured, you have demonstrated that you have the power to determine what your next step is, just by being authentically you. I want to encourage you to live your best life, and live on purpose, whatever that is. For me, when I wake up every day, I wake up wanting to live on purpose, to be intentional in what I'm doing, the phone calls I make, the papers I write, the people I speak to. I want to be intentional about that. And so I would encourage you all to be intentional, because once you define what your purpose is, that's going to get you. That's your why. And you want to always be true to that. So live on purpose, be authentic, be authentically you. And
Ab-
visit coffeetalkwithsoy.com. There's
That's
no
right. You gotta make that. Is
coffee
it?
with
Did I put
Soy.
it in there? Is it coffee time with? Is it coffee
Coffee
time or
talk.
coffee talk?
Coffee talk with soy. Yeah,
Okay.
wake up and have a fresh beverage with me. Hot tea or coffee, whatever it is you drink. Just roll on over and then holler at your girl so we can keep you in power. There's a lot of information, a lot of resources out there. No one has to struggle. No one
That's
should be
right.
struggling. Yeah.
No one, we can do this together a lot faster than we
Yes,
could do it on
yes.
our own. So I'm grateful for that. Soy, please hang out in the green room for just a second. I really appreciate you. I am Lisa Santiago McNeill, and this has been Live with Lisa Santiago McNeill. I'm so grateful for my special co-host of the day, Miss Soy Latte is what I like to call her. And I am going to ask you guys to make sure that you tune in again next week. And remember, permission to be amazing has already been granted. Go ahead and take your step and be shining in the sun. Peace.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down